Wildlife Protection Act. This act being one of the most important acts in biodiversity conservation, it becomes really important for us to look at its various aspects. Okay, so we're going to revise its background, we're going to revise the rules it provides for, and what this act provides for, different provisions in it, the authorities that are established under this act, various amendments under this act, and the schedules. There are 4 schedules under this act. Firstly, we'll look at the background. Article 252 of the Constitution, it empowers the Parliament to pass a law for 2 or more states. If the states pass a resolution requesting the Parliament to pass a common law for certain topic. So there were 11 states that passed this resolution, and at the time of its commencement, this act was only applicable to these 11 states. But later, when this wild animal and the subject of wild animals and birds, it was made into concurrent list. Sorry, I've written a wrong spelling of concurrent list. Concurrent list. At that time, this after the 1991 amendment of the act, this act extended to all the states. Now let's see what this act provides for. It provides for a state wildlife advisory body to be made. It defines some terms that are related to wildlife, like habitat, hunting, zoo, sanctuary, national park, etc. There are certain regulations of about hunting of wild animals and birds. It talks about establishment of sanctuaries and national parks. State government by notification can notify any area as wildlife sanctuary or a national park. Earlier, this power was not there with the state. They had to pass a law for it. Okay, now there's no need to pass a law, only a simple notification can do. Next is, there are certain regulations of trade in wild animals and wild animal products and keeping animals as trophies. Certain authorities that this act establishes are Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, Chief Wildlife Warden, Central Zoo Authority, National Board for Wildlife, State Board for Wildlife, National Tiger Conservation Authority, Tiger Conservation Foundation. Now we can look at who will head these authorities. So Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, it has been given a statutory status, and this would be headed by the Director of Wildlife Preservation. And this person would be appointed by the central government. Chief Wildlife Warden would be appointed by the state government. Central Zoo Authority to central hai. National Board of Wildlife would be headed by the Prime Minister. This is the only body here that is being headed by the Prime Minister. That's why I've written it here. State Board of Wildlife would be headed by the Chief Minister. NTCA would be headed by a minister from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay. There have been questions about NTCA being headed by the Prime Minister, no. Or being headed by the Home Minister, no. Any minister from Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change would be appointed here. And this Tiger Conservation Foundation has to be established by the states under this act. Now there have been 8 amendments to this act. We'll discuss certain important ones. There has been one in 1986 and 1991 as well. 1991 wala we've seen it just extended this application of this act to all the states. Now this 1982 amendment, it gave certain permissions. What were those permissions? That you can capture and transport certain wild animals if the purpose of that is for scientific management of the animal population. Okay, तो उसके लिए you were given permission. 2002 amendment में there were the penalties and punishment, they were made more stringent. And now one more thing was added, that no boundary alteration of wildlife sanctuary or national park can be done without taking an approval by the National Board of Wildlife. क्योंकि ऐसे तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स किसी भी एरिया को छोटा बड़ा कर दो, कुछ फ़र्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा, राइट. 2006 अमेंडमेंट में 2 bodies were created. One was National Tiger Conservation Authority and the other one was Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. 2013 में the imprisonment provisions, they were increased up to 7 years. And now this amendment also said that it protects hunting rights of scheduled tribes in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. तो hunting is वैसे prohibited here, but ये एक exception है that Andaman and Nicobar Islands में hunting rights of scheduled tribes are protected. Why is that so? क्योंकि सारा जितना भी वाइल्ड लाइफ और बायोडाइवर्सिटी कंजर्वेशन के बारे में हम बात करते हैं, इट रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड द राइट्स ऑफ द लोकल पीपल लिविंग देयर. तो हमें हमेशा उन राइट्स को कंसिडर करना है. 2003 में पावर डिलिनेशन हैपेंड अ लॉट. Now what is the provisions here were that no human activity is allowed until permitted. Who will give the permission? Chief Wildlife Warden of the state. Okay, बिना उनकी permission के कोई भी human activity allowed नहीं है, and जो उनकी permitted activities हैं that would be allowed here. 2022 वाले amendment को थोड़ा detail में देखेंगे since this is the most recent one, and it made a lot of changes as well. एक छोटा सा चेंज और 2013 में हुआ था, that now both state and central government can notify national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, but this was already very obvious, तो इसमें इतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. एंड आप लोग कोई बाउंड्री ऑल्टरेशन नहीं कर सकते विदाउट द नेशनल बोर्ड ऑफ वाइल्ड लाइफ. ये बात पहले भी हो चुकी है, एंड दिस वॉज reinforced here. Now 2022 amendment, this gave the power to central government by notification to declare any wildlife species as vermin. Now what is a vermin species? A vermin species is any wild animal that is harmful to crops or other animals, and some species that is carrying some disease like rodents. Okay, there are certain examples that then happened. Nilgais were declared as vermin in Bihar, monkeys were declared as vermin in Shimla, and wild boars were declared as vermin in Kerala. Why is this one important? Because Kerala में wild boars को vermin declare करना थोड़ा ये controversial हो गया था. Another change that happened was that now the state government can add or delete any entry from any schedule, and it can transfer any entry from one schedule to other. There are 4 schedules, we'll discuss it आगे. There are 4 schedules under this act. अब एक और आता है, CITES का पार्ट बन गए हम, Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species. I'll write it here. Under CITES, now the central government has to designate a management authority and a scientific authority. Management authority will have to grant exports or import permits for trade in certain specimens, and scientific authority will give advice on aspects related to impact of the survival of the things, the specimens that are being traded here. And जो भी person would be engaged in trade of any scheduled specimen scheduled under CITES, they will have to report the details of the transaction to the management authority. एक और important provision जो इन्होंने ऐड किया by CITES was identification marks. ये हमारे एग्ज़ाम के लिए इसलिए ज़रूरी है क्योंकि the fact that these identification marks cannot be changed. Okay. Management authority would use certain identification marks for different specimens and these identification marks cannot be changed. और वर्मिन डिक्लेयर करने किसी भी वाइल्ड एनिमल को वर्मिन डिक्लेयर करने के लिए जस्ट अ नोटिफिकेशन वाज इनफ. दिस आई गेस वी हैव सीन पहले. अब चीफ वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन का रोल भी काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है हियर. Chief Wildlife Warden will manage and protect these sanctuaries. And how will they do it? By the plans that is prepared by the guidelines of central government. This became a bit, what can I say, federal issue. क्योंकि पहले ऐसा कोई प्रोविज़न नहीं था इस एक्ट में कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के प्लान के हिसाब से दे हैव टू वर्क सिंस चीफ वाइल्ड लाइफ वार्डन्स आर नॉट अपॉइंटेड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, दे आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द state government. There are certain exemptions for elephants here, that transfer of elephants for religious or any other person वो allowed है. वैसे हमने ट्रेड हंटिंग सब कुछ बंद करा हुआ है, बट एलिफेंट्स का ट्रांसफ़र और ट्रांसपोर्ट फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर, दिस वन हैज़ बीन अलाउड और अंडर सर्टन स्पेशल कंडीशंस. और वो कंडीशंस कौन डिफाइन करेगा? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. ओके, you'll have to have certain ownership certificates for this. And उसके बाद for religious purposes or for any other purpose you can transfer the elephants. इन्वेजिव एलियन स्पीशीज़ के लिए द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट was actually empowered to regulate or prohibit the import, trade or possession of invasive alien species. Invasive alien species तो हम समझते हैं कि क्या होता है. invasive alien species होते हैं जो हमारे नॉर्मल प्लांट स्पीशीज़ या एनिमल स्पीशीज़ को का हैबिटेट इन्वेड करते हैं एंड उसकी वजह से द ग्रोथ ऑफ द प्लांट और एनिमल दैट वाज सपोज टू बी देयर इन दैट हैबिटेट वो स्लो हो जाता है. नाउ वील टॉक अबाउट द शेड्यूल्स. ओके, क्या क्या शेड्यूल्स हैं और 2022 अमेंडमेंट के बाद क्या चेंजेस आए हैं इसमें. यू कैन मेक दिस टेबल विद मी. ओके, पहले देखते हैं पहले क्या क्या था. अर्लियर देयर वर 6 शेड्यूल्स. शेड्यूल 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, and in this first schedule, highest protection. अभी एनिमल्स की बात हो रही है पूरे टाइम. ओके, इसमें क्या है? हायर देन थर्ड प्रोटेक्शन, हायर देन थर्ड एंड लेस देन 1. ओके, थर्ड और फोर्थ में प्रोटेक्टेड स्पीशीज, hunting prohibited in these two. But जो violation के लिए penalty थी that was less than the first 2 schedules. 5th में the vermins and 6th में हमने protected plant species रख दी थी. ये क्वेश्चन भी आ चुका है वैसे पहले पेपर में 2022 में आई गेस। द प्रोटेक्टेड प्लांट स्पीशीज़ को कौन से शेड्यूल में डालते हैं वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के। दिस ऑन द फेस ऑफ इट माइट नॉट लुक वेरी ऑब्वियस कि हम प्लांट स्पीशीज़ भी डालते हैं वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट में, बट डालते हैं थे, अब तो नहीं डाल, अभी भी डालते हैं बट 6th में नहीं डालते। ओके, अब क्या होता है, अगेन सेम हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन और थोड़ा लोअर लेवल ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन। ओके, अब हमने क्या करा है, 3rd में प्रोटेक्टेड प्लांट स्पीशीज़ डाल दिए और 4th शेड्यूल में जो साइटीज़ के अपेंडिक्स में हैं उन स्पीशीज़ को, एंड 5th और 6th शेड्यूल अब हटा दिया है। ओके, these are the changes that have been brought by the 22nd 2022 Amendment Act of Wildlife Protection Act.